everyone. Today is the first week of October and it's Penny and Louise again discussing Flash Friday finance fraud, because this week, interestingly enough, a client received a text before she even had a Commonwealth Bank account, which was the real trigger, and it was a text that was that close. Penny, can you see the difference? One dot. And you could have easily been fooled by that should you know. And we just thought, well, let's talk about some of the frauds that we've seen. So what have you got anything you want to share for us?
Well, it's funny you should mention fraud. I've had a phone call a couple of times this week, actually, which is a recorded message, apparently from the Australian Federal Police.
Oh, they're after you again.
Yeah, they're saying they've got a warrant out for my arrest. And if I want to speak to somebody, to press 1. So I tried once, I pressed one, and yeah, it was terrible. So
I got 2 calls this week from Amazon saying that I owed them $79, or it was going to be automatically charged, and if I wanted to correct my credit card details and stop it, I had to call them. I had to go through. I go, yeah, right. Like I'd know I was getting charged $79 and not know about it. I don't think so. There was no chance of that. God knows. I wouldn't let that sort of... I record every cent that goes in and out of my account. So I knew if it was $79, it wasn't going to Amazon. So it's so funny. But in banking, they're rife at the moment. What other examples do you have?
I mean, the ATO one is a regular example that goes around quite often, but I really feel that people at home at the moment, you know, and scammers in particular, they've got more time than ever to, you know, come up with these elaborate scams.
You say that everyone's sitting at home.
Yeah.
So this was another one from the CommBank. All the banks have these on their websites, but CommBank is the largest. That's why they've got a particular... So this is one of the ones they've got with SMSs. You know, we've detected some unusual activity. You know, but what they say is they'll never actually text people. But here's another one actually that Andrea picked up from ScamWatch, which is from the ACCC. They will actually email you. But this was a really concerning one about people trying to rent a property, and supposedly Australians have lost over 300,000 to rental and accommodation scams because they've been asked, because they can't visit the property, they've been asked to transfer money, and then when they go to visit the property there, it's not them.
People actually transfer the money over?
Well, because they're desperate, they need somewhere to live.
True, yeah.
You know, and this is the problem, and you can't go and see the place, and then you're stuck with something, and then you've lost your dough, which is just insane, you know? Yeah. And it just goes to show you don't hand your money over to anyone, particularly people who purport to be overseas. They're, the owner's overseas. That's why I'm offering you cheap rent on this. Yeah. Yeah, come on, peeps. Think about these things. It's pretty ordinary. But you were saying, like, what sort of things should people do for themselves?
Well, one thing I think everyone needs is a passcode on their computer or their laptop. There's so much sensitive information that you've got on your devices. So make sure you've got a good password there. But another thing that is good is a dual authorization system. Yep. So I have that for like social media and bank accounts as well. So to get into my apps and things like that, I need to put in my password. Then I go to Duo Mobile and it generates a 6-digit code that's only valid for 30 seconds.
You want to show everyone what that is?
Here's one I prepared earlier, the Duo Mobile. You see that?
Yep, can. Cool. I also use LastPass, which is like stored passwords. That's the second way. And it's also a way of sharing them with people. You can give them access and then remove it without any drama too. And I just wanted to cheer up people for a final thing. This is a cute, gorgeous girl who's a comedian in Melbourne, and she's put out this fabulous song on YouTube called I'm a Good Person, which was filmed live at the Butterfly Club in Melbourne. I just love it. It says, I'm a good person, not with my actions, but with my thoughts and beliefs. And I just read my Facebook post. She's gorgeous. And if you're just looking for some diversion at home, I've put the YouTube link in my notes. And also, the lovely Keith Abraham puts out some great newsletters of short videos. And this week he was talking about to list all the things you've actually achieved this year, which might really feel a bit depressing. And he said, but it's good to actually get a record of, we have done stuff, it's just that we feel a bit trapped. And so maybe things haven't moved like we wanted. He was saying how he could show how you might be a bit full of yourself too, which I thought that's great. He's got a good test for that. So, and if anyone wants to book, here's the direct link to Penny's mobile and her Calendly invite, so you can actually just go on that and book like I've had mine. So any final tips for people, Penny?
Just stay safe. I mean, if a message seems out of the blue, it probably is. So don't go clicking links to things that you don't think are legitimate, really.
Exactly right. And if you've ever in doubt, please feel free to ring us. We will know generally because we've seen them before. So please feel free to check in with us because that's what we do. Anyway, have a great weekend. See you all.
Bye.